made one of these things.
No, it's discontinued, so. Alright, good morning and welcome back to This Life We Live, where we are building our very first ever house from scratch, a modern style barndominium. Today is going to be a little bit crazy. We're scheduled to have some major thunderstorms rolling through in about 2 hours. So that means they gotta finish wrapping the house before that happens. I think it's be easier to wrap it before it rains and then they can work on the inside while it's raining. We got the roofing on yesterday. Today we are getting the windows delivered, which includes the big giant double slider door. Now it's not the double slider that most people have where they have 2 separate sliders. This is a big 16-foot long mammer jammer by 8 feet tall. She is a beast, and it was an actual miracle that we managed to get her. Oh man, looks like we're getting some house wrap put on. We got all of our windows in here. Oh, you guys even put a hand bracket on there. That's nice. All right, so where do you want me to take this? This is all the... Looks like it's gonna. I was gonna say maybe. Oh, drill. So the air compressor's running because Eric's doing some sanding in there and the music's still running, so I figured I'd come out here while it's nice and loud and take a look at the double slider. This is a behemoth. This is one big old door.
Well, you got about 1/4 of an inch and you'll clear it.
Right, that's far. We don't need much.
There you go.
Okay, start coming this way. Yep.
Ready?
It's catching on one of them.
Ready?
Off we go to the window. Balance. Okay, go your way.
Gonna be a little sketchy with the stairs right there.
How come you're not videotaping?
That's right there.
How long we said?
This is 27 long, porch is
22 foot 1 inch.
22.
22 foot 1 inch, outside to outside.
We want to overhang it.
No, that's yeah.
Because we can always trim it later.
I'll just trim it after the concrete's there. Right there.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah.
If you remember, we built a safe room in our basement. Now, every porch that's ever installed on any house has the potential to have a safe room or cellar in the bottom of it. Sadly, most of them get filled in with sand because the homeowners are either never told about the possibility or they just don't want to. We are not going to skimp on space with this house. If something is being built, we're not going to put it to waste. We are using everything. So that means this porch gets turned into a safe room. But it's not a safe room if it's going to be wet. So we have to waterproof the entire top before they can pour cement on it. Eric came across these rubberized sticker membranes at an auction for dirt cheap. Actually, the ones that we didn't use, he resold and made double his money on. So it was a win-win with these sticker sheets. He was quoted out a price of $3,000 for another company to come in with their sticker sheets and cover over the top. This way, we definitely made money, and it was a good deal to make. It's a little awkward to install, but it's not the final product. We're going to put foam over the top of this and then cement, and you'll never see it. But it helps keep your roof dry for your safe room. Is this like a giant playground for you? Construction site is a doggy playground. What are you doing? House wrap. It's one of the most overlooked and underappreciated parts of a house build. People either know instantly what they want to put up on their house or they have no idea. Everybody's heard of zip strip. Zip strip is that green board stuff that you put up all over your house instead of having to use house wrap. Now, zip strip is really good stuff. However, it's very expensive. We're talking like several thousands of dollars more than house wrap and OSB sheeting. And we used expensive, thicker OSB sheeting, and it was still a lot more money than that. So we decided to just go with the OSB sheeting and upgrade our house wrap. Now, Eric had come across this particular type of house wrap at a wood cellar, and he instantly fell in love with it. It's a Kimberly-Clark brand. It's sold by Menards. I'm not sure if it's their own brand or a national brand or not, but we went with a mid-range Kimberly-Clark. This stuff was really thick, really heavy duty compared to most house wrap, and the inside was kind of plasticky, and the outside was kind of like a, I don't want to say bubble wrap, but it was kind of like felted bubble wrap. It's kind of different. It was nice. It really turned the corners nice. It was a little bit more money than your standard house wrap, but not overly expensive. We also found the sticker house wrap. If you guys haven't seen the sticker stuff, that will blow your mind too. That's kind of like the zip strip on steroids. It's one big giant sticker roll that goes over the entire house and seals it entirely. It's also quite expensive. So we didn't even want to monkey with that because you got to be really careful putting that stuff on. So we went with the Kimberly-Clark stuff, and I think it'll do pretty well for its purpose. Let me know down below your preferred house wrap and why. Man, I messed the whole thing.
Okay, nothing over to that side.
So how did it go? Oh.
Pretty smooth.
Everyone's like, yeah.
Slow but smooth.
Man, I can't. This one's gonna be the big thing to get in. I totally missed it.
get your view.
I've already looked at it.
This is your baby.
This is Eric's first time looking at the door.
I had to help carrying it in the house.
I got that on video, remember? Everybody saw that.
Wow, it looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
What's that all about? Is that just how it is?
I think that's just how it is. I mean, you can always build a little ramp up to it so that you don't trip over it. Like a little ramp shim.
Uh-huh.
Which, if we're doing wood floors, you know, it's not going to be too
Oh,
hard.
that's good. I was a little nervous. I was like, man, I hope Rob told me the right size of the door, because that would suck if like didn't fit.
Is that everything you dreamed of it?
Holy crap, it's like the whole back living room wall is
The entire living room wall is a giant door. Well, except for that little bit right there. And a little bit right on that side. I mean, it's centered right in the middle of the wall. And these window panes are actually tinted. They're UV tinted to keep UV light out. Like, so when you walk in,
brown color either.
no, I mean, the wood color will match, especially if we're doing hickory floors. So you're going to walk in and then it's just going to be like, boom, there it is.
We could paint it black.
Of course, I mean, we're going to have to take some of those other trees out. Like, there's a tree that's leaning right up. So would you say this is less windows than most houses, or probably standard?
For the amount of windows, probably about standard.
I almost got everything out of the way.
Oh, bud.
Removing the window.
I really like how that thing hooks in back here.
Yeah.
Like hooks. Channel on here.
Hooks in.
Hooks right into that little black guy right there.
So it doesn't bounce back through that door.
Oh, really?
Now this one, which you probably figured this out already. That's
I haven't looked at it.
That's a lock there. Keep that door.
Oh, from opening?
That's it. Concrete goes up in there. Put that down, it's locked. Got it.
Yeah, it looks like it's functioning.
Oh, it rolls really nice. Nice and flat.
This is what happens when you put in a slider. You get people falling out the doorway. We got the next set of windows in. So we've got slider in, triple window, and the trapezoidal window up there. Going pretty quick too.
Alan.
Alright, so now we're going to be getting going on the big one right up there. It is a really heavy window, but I'm not sure if this one's heavier or this one's heavier. Both are super heavy, so they got their bearings underneath them doing the other windows, so now we're going to move on to these. Here we go. There's like no way to grab it.
I need to go in there first, Neil. Come back out. Back up. Hold it in. Go ahead. Yeah, get a grip on it. All right. Bring out. Hold it.
Well, hopefully the triple isn't quite as awkward as this one.
Beautiful. Leave that. Oh. Okay. Good, now that sucker.
Now, this was one of those times that I wish the camera had just been rolling, but there's only so much battery power that you can have in a day. When the boys went to install this window, it did not fit. It was too tight. It wasn't the fault of the builders in this situation. No, actually, it was those giant engineered boards, those 2x6s that were very, very tall and long. Because they had been sitting outside at the lumberyard for so long, they had swelled, and they didn't swell evenly, they swelled unevenly. So as the boys went to attach the boards to them, some of the boards got kicked out, which resulted in a tight, uneven fit of this window. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount that you can do in this type of situation. You can go through with an electric planer if you have one and spend the entire day reshaving the window out. Or if you happen to know a guy who does auto body work, you can have him take out his auto body tools and get to work pulling apart the door frame with hydraulic tension. And as much as I thought that this wouldn't work and somebody was going to be decapitated at any second from flying materials, it actually works, and the windowsill did expand by a good 1/2 inch, and the boys were able to get the window in and fit it perfectly. But you just never know. On a farm, you have to repurpose all your tools to get the job done. But the job got done, and that's the bottom line. All right, we're on the last big boy window, the last heavy one. And the SkyTrack goes back tomorrow. So they're gonna have to get this done today. The other windows that are up high, they can put in from the inside or on ladders because they're not very heavy. But this window, even though it's not very big, well, I mean, I say it's not very big, but that's a heavy window, really heavy. And now that I'm looking at it on the ground, maybe I'm thinking that I did kind of like it as 5 windows instead of 3. But anyway, that'd be really heavy at that point. I can actually get a look at this trapezoid window over here. Now, the original idea that we had was to have 2 trapezoidal windows. We'd have one there and then another one that was a triangle coming out there. But after some thought, he said, you know what, that would just line up better with the slider. or the French doors. So so that's what we did.
Another day, just fix the doors.
Tomorrow or not. They said it might be a day or two. Alright, it looks like a little baby compared to the other windows. And honestly, as big as these windows are, they still look small compared to the house. So this triple window right here, originally on the plan was a 5-panel window. It would have gone from right there all the way to above the door. And on paper it looked really good. But when we got the window in, we're like, wow, this is a big window. Looking at all of the engineering on the wall, it was a lot. So we ended up moving it down to 3 because we were concerned about putting too much weight on that door frame. That is a very heavy window. So we moved it over so it can support its own weight, and that's what we have now. But again, we're gonna have a porch right here anyway, so that's gonna take up some of that blah space. And then 2 more windows up there, and then 2 more windows down below. And then over there is the garage, so that doesn't have any windows on the front, just a door right there. And then the 2 garage doors. It looks like a big house because it is a big house. But just like with most houses, a good chunk of it, like a third of it, is the garage. That's the garage. So the actual house is only like this much. Man, can you imagine trying to do that with the big windows? That would be awful. And now our house is more drive-in than it was before. Yep, we had the roof on and we had the wall sheeting on, but now with the addition of the house wrap, now our sheeting is protected against the weather. This Kimberly Clark line is good for about 4 months. Each type of house wrap has a different weather rating as far as how long it's okay to sit out in the sun for. You can't just leave it on forever while you build your house, and you have to make sure you get it covered. And so that is our next goal coming up here. But we are thankful that we got our windows in as well. I know that was one of those arduous tasks that the boys were not looking forward to doing, but they got it done. They didn't drop everything. And credit to Marvin Windows, everything fit great. So let me know down below what type of windows you've been looking at and why, and what you think of our Marvin windows. But we'll go over them a little bit later. Next week, we're going to get into framing the interior walls, which is going to prove to be exciting because almost all of those walls are those angular cut boards. So we're going to kind of get into a little bit of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some tricks up our sleeve, and we're also going to go through and install some of those doors, which are in the drone footage here, but I didn't cover it in this video. So definitely tune in next week, guys. We are coming down the line. And this week, as far as what we're actually getting done in real time, oh, I can't even describe it. It's going to be so exciting. Just every step just gets more exciting. So definitely tune in. Give this video a like. Leave a comment down below, guys. Look forward to seeing you again next time. Love you. Bye.